Hello, everybody. How you doing? Hope you're good. Sorry again about the lacking video on Thursday. I'm gonna go back and kind of briefly go over Thursday's episode, and then we're gonna get into tonight's episode, which was the first eviction of the summer. There were a couple things that happened that I want to go over, but before we do that, as always, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. There is a very quick and easy link in the corner. Just tap it, click it. Thank you, I would appreciate it. Also, like and comment, let me know how you're liking these Big Brother videos. I would greatly appreciate it. I love to chat with you guys. And don't forget, follow me on Instagram at actuallyrach. That's where I post my stuff. Also, my contact is acting funny, so, okay. Eviction episode, tiny recap. A couple of alliances were formed. There were a few. The Slaughterhouse Alliance, that is hard to say, was formed, and the French Kisses Alliance were formed. So these were alliances that were formed that are not going to last, probably aren't even still a thing to this day. So I'm not going to talk much about them, just wanted to mention them. Also, Frenchie is still an idiot. He's still an idiot to this day as well. The vote was kind of short, sweet, and to the point. I follow the spoilers, like I told you last week. Already kind of knew what was going to happen. So the vote was 11-2. Travis was the first person evicted from Big Brother 23. He was a good sport. I would have been very interested to see how Travis would have continued to play the game. I listened and caught up to the Winner Circle podcast, which, if you don't know, that is Derek and Cody's podcast. And they had a nice interview with him. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out. It's kind of cool. Interesting to kind of see his perspective and what he thought and felt about the game. Again, would have loved to seen how he played, but it is what it is. So then they had the HOH competition where it was kind of like golf, and they just shot a little ball into this shark's mouth, and they had to pick a number of which they wanted to stand on, and the higher the number was, the harder it was to shoot the ball into the shark's mouth. The main event of this episode was that Kyland is now the new HOH. So Kyland goes from on the block to HOH all in 1 week. So if that's not Big Brother, I don't know what is. So we are now caught up to tonight's episode. There were quite a few things that happened, so we're just gonna get right into it. Apparently they said that the vote was supposed to be a unanimous vote, and that's what I didn't know. I watched a little bit of the feeds over the weekend, and I also read over some of the daily Big Brother daily stuff. Some things is happening, so I need to kind of gather some more information and get into that. But apparently the votes were supposed to be unanimous. So Big D, which is Derek F, and Tiffany were little sneaky sneaks, and Derek F did it as a joke, and apparently Frenchie asked Tiffany if she would go rogue and vote to try to frame it to be Derek X when all of that stuff was happening last week, when he was trying to do all of that stuff to him. So whatever. And speaking of Tiffany, she's starting to be a little trickster. That scene where her and Ozzo were crying in the room when everybody was walking in just so that they could have their time to talk and do and chat had me literally laughing my butt off. I think that is so funny and so clever of them, and they are quite the duo. There was a Wildcard competition tonight. It was quite the interesting little competition. The Queen's team could not play. The Queen's team is Kyland's team, so they're safe this week because he's HOH. Hannah and Christian played previously, so they cannot play again. So Frenchie got to play, Sarah Beth got to play, and by random draw, Brent got to play. They played the BB Flying Colors comp, which I'll get into here directly in a few minutes, but between the time they picked who was going to play in the competition to the time they actually played in the competition, Frenchie decided that he was going to start fussing because Kyland's not wanting to tell him anything. And this apparently seems to be Kyland's MO as head of household, which you would see a little bit more of that later. But he's not telling anybody anything. He's not answering anybody's questions. He's just doing his thing and gathering his information, which I really, really like how he's deciding to play the game. I think he kind of studied and watched the game before he went on the show. But because he's not, Frenchie proceeds to act like a child because he's not getting his way, and he decides he doesn't want to be a part of his alliance anymore. He doesn't want to play with anybody anymore, and it's all about him, and he's got to deal with his own self, and he's got to win this wildcard competition, so that's why he had to play. So with that being said, they played BB Flying Colors. So basically they showed them some pictures with words on it, all kinds of different stuff. And they had to answer questions about these pictures. And if they got it right, they got shot with paint. If they got shot with paint 3 times, they had to be the fastest correct answer 3 times. They won. And it was a wild card decision that they had to make. It wasn't necessarily safety this week. So Sarah Beth ended up winning the competition, and so the wild card decision was that she could swap teams to Kyland's team because that team was the safe team this week, and so she could be safe, or she could not, and she would still be on the block. Like she would still be able to go on the block. So it was one or the other, but the thing is that she would switch places with another person from Kyland's team and put them up for a possibility of eviction. So she chose to stay with her team. She chose to not, make any waves, and she thinks that she's sitting good with Kyland, which I think she is. I don't think she's going anywhere anytime soon, so that's probably a good choice. Again, here I go with I really like how Kyland is playing his head of household week. He was talking to Britnei, which was the last kind of part of this episode before the nominations, and he wasn't answering anybody's questions. He wasn't talking to anybody, like I said earlier. I really like the way that he's handling himself. He's really being poised, and he's really taking it seriously, gathering information and doing some things for himself, playing the game for himself. I really like that. So they get to the nomination ceremony. It's telling me to drink my water. Here we go. He nominates Frenchie and Britnei for nomination. Basically, he nominated Frenchie because he just needed to be nominated, and we all know that. He's a ticking time bomb, and he's blowing up in there because he's not getting his way. Because he went from power trip to nothing. And Britnei is just like one of his little minions. Like, she's really seeming that way, and I really hate that. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. He was really cool with his speech. He was very calm and collective. I really appreciated how he spoke and said and just came very cool, calm, and collected. So I support him. I appreciate how he's playing this game. And with that being said, I'm pleased with this. I'm excited to see how everything moves forward. This was kind of short, sweet, and to the point, just kind of going over everything that happened. Wednesday's the veto competition. I'm very interested to see what happens. I don't know what has happened thus far on the feeds. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't looked. I'm so sorry. With even looking at them yesterday, I don't know what was going on. So, whatever. I will see you guys on Wednesday for the veto competition episode. We will catch up then. Everything should be back to normal moving forward. I'll be back Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I do have some other things coming up. My Cooking with Rach segments will be soon. I'm getting some more equipment in this week, so I'm going to be asking for your input for that soon in my Instagram stories. If you have something that you want to see already that is something you want me to cook, leave it in the comments below in this video. Go on my Instagram, follow me there. I'm going to be asking you some questions about that, so don't forget that is coming up soon. Please, if you haven't already, again, subscribe to my channel. It's in the corner box. It's down below. It's all over the place. Like this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Again, comment below. Let's chat. hit the notification bell so that you know when my videos come out every Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday about Big Brother. We'll be adding some more when Dance with the Stars comes on, which it did announce it's coming on September the 20th. So we'll be adding that in. Follow me on Instagram at ActuallyRach. I will see you guys on Wednesday for the Veto episode. Have a good week. Bye.